Morning, everybody. Monday morning track session and another stellar day here in Jackson Hole. Summer doesn't get any better. Just looks like it's going to be another gorgeous day here in August. Summer Jackson Hole. Got the crows buzzing up ahead, above. Anyways, I just finished up with a new athlete and I'm just about to head out for my hill repeats, but wanted to talk about Cadence today. This athlete, like I said, is a new athlete, and it's a special athlete because he's a football player and he's entering his senior season. Last year he gained over 2,000 yards. He's a running back as a junior, so he was the state champ in rushing yardage for Jackson Hole. So they start practice today, and we've been working on his speed. He's got to really improve his speed. He's got about a 4.6 40-yard time, and we want to get that under 4.5 before college, and he's got some work to do on that. But kind of our focus has been to work on his speed for the upcoming season. And when I first looked at his form and looked at his sprint, his cadence was just not there, and his stride length was good, but his cadence was really slow, and that was what was actually slowing him down. And this is key in what I see for a lot of runners, endurance runners, sprinters, whoever it is that they lack the cadence. And so for him, just by working on increasing his cadence, he's increasing his frequency, he's increasing the amount of time he's allowing himself to go forward. And that's going to be crucial for when you want to take, hundreds of seconds off or a second off your speed. But more importantly, how does this affect endurance? It's even more compound, is that now by training your cadence, we increase the amount of time you're going forward. And I had other athletes in last week from New York, and one of the runners was the Disney half marathon champ with a PR of a 1:21 half marathon. And same issue, says she was overstriding a little bit, and her cadence was slow. So what's happening with both of these runners on both ends of the spectrum, when we have a really fast sprinter and an endurance athlete, and both issues are the same, is that they're maxing out their distance per stride. And for them to get faster, if they keep trying to increase their stride, they're just going to hit a plateau. And that was the problem with the half marathoner, is that she's just going to hit a plateau with her speed and kind of get frustrated. So instead of increasing the distance, we need to increase the frequency. So every time both of these runners take a stride, their length was good, but now they're just increasing the time they're taking to take a stride, and to increase the amount of stride lengths they get within their run. For a half marathon, that's a lot of time and a lot of speed to be gained. So working on your cadence is crucial. And I'm going to add to the show notes below the drills that I've done last year that all go to help with cadence. And we have to train our mind and our body to get off our feet quickly. And that magic number you may have heard is 175 to 180 strikes per minute, or 90 RPMs, depending on, again, how your watch counts cadence. But have the awareness of what your cadence is. Ideally, you want to be kind of right around 175 to 180 cadence. But more importantly, monitor it throughout your run and look at your average. When I go to analyze my athletes' runs, a lot of times when I'm analyzing an athlete who has to work on their cadence, I'm looking at what their cadence was kind of at the start of the run, in the middle of the run, and the end of the run, and their overall average cadence. So I'm seeing if they have endurance for their cadence throughout the entire run. So again, a lot of times you might have cadence early on, but if you're training for a marathon or an ultra marathon, again, if we can maintain that frequency, now it's not that you're getting so much faster, but you're just maintaining frequency, allowing yourself to go forward, taking advantage of your distance per stride and your speed for a longer period of time. And that's the key. And I always like to kind of talk about performance and how this also affects health and longevity. So for you runners who maybe aren't necessarily worried about or focused on performance, but your health and longevity and running for fun, as they say, by the way, we all should run for fun. It's fun differently for everybody. But how this helps with longevity and health is that by increasing our cadence, we have better form typically, and we're reducing the amount of time we're spending on each leg. Okay, so again, that's going to help with our longevity. We're going to reduce our stress and our force on our landing and do it quicker. So we're spending less time on each leg, which is going to add to less stress. So that's where your longevity and health comes in. So try this out. One drill I have athletes do when I'm meeting them in person here at the track, I use the football field and the hash marks as a way to help to train cadence. And again, it's a lot of neuromuscular, training the brain to understand and to feel that cadence. It's going to feel weird at first, but that's where it becomes neuromuscular. We have to understand that this is not a weird feeling, and the more and more we do it, the easier and easier it gets, and the less weird it feels, and the less exaggerated it feels. So again, I use the hash marks, and I'm going to demonstrate a drill that you can do aside from the drills I've listed below to help with your cadence. So check it out. Pretty simple. So essentially all I'm doing is I'm running in between each hash mark, settling into a speed that really kind of feels comfortable and natural. And with the hash mark distance, is your length per stride is fixed. So now we can just naturally have a higher cadence, and I'll just do cadence runs around all the hashes and perimeter of the field as either a warm-up, as drills, as part of a drill, warm up before a faster workout. So it's a great way to really settle into a proper technique and cadence to, again, train the brain. So to recap, there's two ways to gain speed. Distance per stride is how long our stride is on each stride. We're gaining distance there. That's part of our speed. Secondly is our frequency or our cadence, okay? So we want to mesh the two. And the two athletes I used as an example earlier were only getting their length. So their length was good, but again, they were going to eventually plateau and not be able to lengthen it anymore based on their height. So they have to increase their cadence, okay? So see where you're at. Are you close to 175 to 180 strikes per minute? Are you able to maintain that throughout a long run? See where you are. Start analyzing your cadence and see how this is a way for you to improve your performance, your health and longevity, without necessarily having to train for speed. Although you want to do that, but this is a different way. I call it free speed. We're training the brain to have more frequency, which is part of speed. So, all right, I'm off for my 90-second hill repeats, over 400 watts. These are going to be pretty hard, but again, for me, how this relates to the cadence is that I'm training my legs to have faster cadence going up steep grade. Okay, it's going to help me for my frequency, help me to have more power, but everything that we just talked about is just going to help me on my climbs and my hills. So I'm headed up to the butte, the top of the butte. There's where my hill repeats are going to be, and you can see the rest of the hole. Buttes everywhere, mountains everywhere. All right, go train your cadence today. Let me have your questions. Thanks for all your comments in the last video. They all help. They're super helpful, and just so I start getting understanding of your mindset of what you're looking for, because this is a way for me to coach you, a way to coach a lot of people, but I really try to coach intuitively. So hearing your questions, hearing your comments really helps me get into your mind to help coach you. So thanks again. We'll see you next time.